Chapter 9. Hani. After our laughter dies down, Ishu, and I settle down into a strange silence. It's not exactly awkward, but it's not comfortable either. I grab hold of the laptop on the top shelf of my desk and open it up. If we're going to do this, we need to do it properly. I sign into my Google Docs and create a brand new document. Untitled document glares up at me brightly from the screen. I turn to find Ishu looking at me with a question mark on her face. If we write down our lies, then we won't get caught, I explain. I've never really lied to Amma or Abba, and I don't really want to start lying to them now, but I guess I don't really have a choice. So if I'm going to lie, I might as well make sure I'm doing it well. I type Hani and Ishu's Guide to Fake Dating into the title space, stifling a grin of satisfaction at having come up with that all by myself. So, how did it start? I ask. What? You know, I turn to her slowly. How did we start dating? Ishu shrugs. Is it anybody's business? I heave a sigh. I should have known Ishu would be like this. You can answer people like that, I say. I can't. That'll just come off as defensive. Not everyone is as embracive as you, Ishu, I want to say, but I keep that little thought to myself. Make something up, I'll go along with it. A prickle of annoyance crawls up my skin at her nonchalance. I narrow my eyes. You said we both need to make this work, Ishu. I can almost see her stifle a sigh of her own. She shifts, the bed creaking under her weight. Maybe we started hanging out during one of the Bengali dawats. They'll be so confused at the concept of a dawat that they probably won't even ask any more questions. I turn back to my laptop and the blank white page in front of me. Started dating after hanging out together at Bengali dawats. I frown at the sentence for a moment before turning back to Ishu. How long have we been together? Ishu scrunches up her face a little like this is the last question she wants to answer. I have to bite back a smile. At school, Ishu always seemed so controlled, completely put together. I don't think I've ever seen her let go, ever seen her at ease. I've definitely never seen her scrunch up her face like this before. It can't be for very long, she finally says slowly, because, that would be suspicious, right? Right. Started dating 2 weeks after hanging out together at Bengali dawats. We should make some rules, I say. I type rules in big bold letters. What kind of rules exactly? Like we can't tell anyone the truth, I say, meeting her gaze with my own. Not our parents, not our best friends, nobody. Ishu shrugs. It's not like I have anyone to tell, anyway. Rules. Hani and Ishu can't tell anyone the truth about their plans. 2. Almost as soon as I stop typing, Ishu clears her throat, says, we need boundaries. What kind of boundaries? Well, how long is our relationship going to last? When will we break up? Who breaks up with who? I shake my head because it should be obvious, right? We break up when our goal is complete. When you become head girl And Aisling and Dee understand that I am who I am. Ishu is watching me, almost unblinking. There is something uncomfortable about her scrutiny. I can almost feel the judgment through her gaze. I shift around in my chair, avoiding her stare. I expect her to say something condescending or mean about what I've just said, but she finally just says, "Okay, that makes sense, I guess. I should break up with you, though." I scoff, turning to her with narrowed eyes. "What? Why?" "Because if I break up with you, then people will think I'm cool. Plus, then your friends will feel sorry for you." I can only blink at Ishu for a moment. "Oh, I guess that makes sense too. Rules. 1. Hani and Ishu can't tell anyone the truth about their plans. 2. Hani and Ishu will break up when Ishu is head girl and..." I paused, not sure how to phrase the last part of that sentence. 2. Hani and Ishu will break up when Ishu is head girl and Hani's friends accept her for who she is. An inexplicable lump is forming in my throat, but I gulp it down and keep typing. 3. Ishu will break up with Hani when their goals are completed. Okay, I spin my chair around all the way this time to look at Ishu. Anything else? Ishu seems to consider the question for a moment. She looks down at the baby blue duvet on the bed, picking lint off it with her fingers. "You know, I've never dated anyone before. If I didn't know better, I would think..." Ishu actually sounded insecure. She suddenly seems smaller, like admitting that little thing about her has somehow diluted the intensity of her. Even though I assumed she had never dated anyone before, and I know she knows I assumed that. "It's no big deal," I say. "Dating is like..." I lean back in my chair and stare up at the ceiling, as if I have spent an eternity studying the intricacies of dating. Really, I've been in one relationship with a boy who was kind of horrible, and I went on a few dates after which that amounted to absolutely nothing. It's not a big deal. When you're dating someone for real, I mean, it's just about having fun, right? About being with someone who makes you happy. What if I do something wrong? From the little ridge that appears on Ishu's forehead, I know she's not joking. She's actually worried about getting dating wrong. I'm not sure if that's possible. "You won't get it wrong," I reassure her. "That's why we have this to help." I point to the document open on my laptop to help us get everything right. I lean toward the laptop and click a few buttons until I can type in Ishu's email address. I can hear the tiny deep beep of Ishu's phone. She slips it out of her pocket and snorts. Cute title. Not obvious at all. I roll my eyes and open my mouth to retort, but Amma's voice floating up the stairs interrupts my thoughts completely. "Honey, bring Ishita down to eat dinner." "Okay, coming," I call back, hoping she can hear me through the closed door. I turn back to Ishu. "You don't speak Sylheti, do you?" Ishu shakes her head. "I understood a little, though. Food, right?" I smile, nodding, a strangely pleasant feeling bubbling up in my stomach that I don't quite understand. "You're going to tell your mom, right?" Ishu says as she stands from where she was sitting on my bed. "Tell her that we're dating," Ishu says, like that should be obvious. "Now," my voice sounds a little more shrill than I had anticipated. "When else? I'll tell her later, after you're gone. She raises an eyebrow like she actually doubts me. You'll chicken out. I won't chicken out, I promise. I'll tell her. I just need to prepare. Let's just go to dinner, yeah? Ishu still doesn't look like she believes I'll actually tell Amma, but she follows me downstairs silently anyway. Chapter 10. 10:28. The bus ride home feels strangely peaceful, even though agreeing to do this whole fake dating thing should be making me panic. After all, it's a big lie, and it's going to take a lot to spend all that time with Hani and her friends. Still, there was something peaceful about having dinner in her house. Aditi auntie made chicken curry, and it was the best chicken I've ever had. Even better than Ammu's, though I'll obviously never tell her that. I can see myself getting used to Aditi auntie's cooking, to sitting at that dinner table opposite Hani. Who gave me the warmest smile when I complimented her mom's cooking. I'm still thinking about the chicken curry when I get off the bus. On the horizon I can see the dipping sun. The sky is a cascade of colors, slowly getting darker and darker the closer I get to my house. I spot Nick when I'm still a few minutes away. Suddenly I feel like I've been transported back in time to Friday afternoon, except there's none of that impatient air about her today. Did you call me? I ask as I approach her, slipping my phone out of my pocket to check, but Nick shakes her head. I was just around the neighborhood. How long have you been waiting? A little while. I just wanted to see how Abu and Ammu are doing. I push past her and open the front door. She steps into the house after me, and there's such a marked difference between how she enters today and how she entered on Friday that I feel a pang of worry in my chest. On Friday, Nick just felt like Nick, my older sister, who has been outshining me my entire life. Today, Nick seems small, defeated, like someone I don't even know. Do you think they'll be up for meeting my fiancé? She asked. We're supposed to go back to London next week, so... They're still mad, I interrupt her. I don't think that's just going to go away. Nick, I don't understand. Why don't you just go back to university? Put off your marriage to this guy until you finish your degree. You don't have long to go. 2 more years is a long way to go, Ishu. Nick's voice is heavy. Her decision is finalized, I know. There's nothing I can do here to change her mind. I already handed in my paperwork anyway. I can't change my mind, not until a year later at least. If he loved you, would he not wait until... Ishita, her voice is somber, reprimanding. I hold my palms up to show I mean no harm. I'm just trying to understand your logic. I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around it. Have you ever talked to Ammu and Abba about me and Rakesh? It's been difficult, I say. Still, I feel guilt wrap around me. I've been so concerned with myself, I haven't really thought about Nick. Then again, should I really feel guilty about it? Nick has been my sister for my whole life, and in all that time, she has never put me over herself. So I don't know why she expects me to put her and her fiancé over me. Ammu and Abu have been taking out their frustrations on me, like they think that if they don't give me enough attention, I'll become a fuck-up too. I pause, catching Nick's eyes. I mean, they think I'm a fuck-up, huh? Or is that you? Not me, I say in too much of a rush. Nick shakes her head. Ishu, one day you'll realize that living up to Abu and Ammu's wild expectations of us is not all that it's cracked up to be. What the hell does that mean? The more she talks, the less Nick seems like my sister. If someone told me the real Nick was abducted by aliens and replaced with this version, I would fully believe them. Or maybe it could even be a clone situation. Anything other than this really being Nick. These words really coming out of her lips. So different from the sister I have known my whole life. It means that she sighs and shakes her head like I'm not worth sharing her thoughts with. Don't worry about it. I should go. You're not going to wait to talk to Ammu and Abu? I checked my watch. It's 7 o'clock. That means at least one of them should be home soon. The South Asian grocery shop we own in the town usually closes at 6 on the weekdays. Not today, Nick says. For a moment, as she hovers by the front door taking her leave, I notice that Nick looks aged. Like the past few days, telling Ammu and Abu about her plans have made her older than her years, like they've taken something from her. I wonder for a moment if I've contributed to it too, by focusing on myself instead of trying to help her. I wonder if I should tell her that I will somehow find a way to make Ammu and Abu come around, if I should promise to keep my word this time. Instead I say, okay, see you, I guess. She holds my gaze for a long moment, then mumbling, see you, Ishu, she disappears out the door. Chapter 11. Hani. We should go out on a date, like a fake one. I wake up the next morning to Ishu's message, brightly glaring at me from my phone screen. It's 6 o'clock, a whole hour before I usually get up for school, so I'm a little cranky as I sit up and hit the video chat button on Instagram. Hey, Ishu looks ready for the day with her school uniform on and her hair perfectly brushed. Good morning. She smiles that half-pained smile, and it looks better than it did yesterday, so that's something. You know it's 6 o'clock, right? I try to fix my hair, like dawn. Ishu smiles widens. Sorry, I didn't mean to wake you up. You have bedhead. I click the camera off and crawl out of bed. What do you mean we should go on a date? When? Like today? After school? People have to know we're together, right? And how will they know if we go on a date? I prop the phone up on the top of my sink as I begin brushing my teeth. I mean, we would have to show them photos and stuff. She shrugs. Isn't that what people do? She seems like she's genuinely asking, like Ishu doesn't really know what people do. I guess, I say through a mouthful of toothpaste. Somehow Ishu seems to understand me, even though she rolls her eyes. So, we could go to a fancy restaurant or something. And you're going to pay for me, I ask? I said a fake date. Honey. She catches herself at the last minute. If I'm paying for it, then we're going to McDonald's. I sigh. Sure, we can go somewhere fancy, but like within a limit and with some vegetarian options, please. Are you vegetarian? Ishu narrows her eyes like vegetarian is something unheard of. No, exactly. No, I don't remember the last time anyone questioned me about this. I've gotten used to just saying I'm vegetarian because it's much easier than having to have a discussion about halal and haram. When I mentioned it to Aisling, she started going on about animal cruelty and how religion wasn't a good reason for killing animals in such cruel ways. She wouldn't listen to me no matter how many times I tried to explain that the way Muslims kill animals for halal meat is no more cruel than the way non-Muslims do it. I eat halal, I finally spit it out. That's like, I know what halal is, Ishu says. I'm Bengali, remember? Yeah, but you're not Muslim. I'm also not ignorant, Ishu retorts. You could have just said we should go somewhere that's halal. There aren't a lot of halal options in Dublin. Ishu shrugs. I don't mind. I don't want us to go somewhere that you don't like. Right. I mean, Ishu adds, I'm trying to look like a nice person. caring that your girlfriend can eat the food at the restaurant you're going to is like compassionate, right? I have to bite back a smile. I would definitely say that falls into the category of compassion. Good, Ishu smiles, sitting straight with her shoulders back like she's proud of herself for managing this very minimal form of compassion all by herself. So I can research some places we can go, and I'll see you at your locker at 3 o'clock, okay? Okay. Have you told Aditi Auntie yet? I knew this was going to come up. I meant to tell Amma last night after Ishu had left, and she had curiosity plastered all over her face. Since she didn't ask me questions, I decided to just leave it for the moment. But if Ishu and I are going to make it official all over our social media, I definitely need to tell Amma before that happens. I'll tell her today. Don't chicken out. Her voice is firm, like she's a teacher scolding me. I won't chicken out, I exclaim. Why are you up so early in the morning anyway? Nightmares about making head girl? This is when I'm normally up, Ishu says. I wake up early to study. Mornings are like the time when I focus the best. Oh, I wonder for a moment if Ishu does anything other than study, because that's all I've ever heard her talk about. She must have some hobbies, right? Some interests other than constantly studying, even if she's lacking in the whole friendship department. Before I can ask, before I can even formulate a question, Ishu looks at her watch on her wrist and declares, I should get to that. Tell Auntie, and I'll see you later. Bye. And the screen is blank. Page 76. We will stop here until video 6. This is video 5. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. If I'm right, let me know. Bye.